So much stuff to reorganize as well. I might do that tomorrow because that can be my day 101. Tidying my stuff because I've got junk everywhere. Fine. Okay. So I don't need all that dirt. Go away, dirt. So it's time for a world tour. Welcome to my world. This is day 100 of playing Minecraft every single day for a year. Now this is a project conceived from a little bit of frustration from the old, what's he called? Forge Labs started, I think, where he has games where he goes, I survived 100 days in Minecraft hardcore, but it's 100 Minecraft days. And that's not good enough for me. I want to do 100 real days. So I so far have survived 100 days, real human days, whilst playing Minecraft. Also, I have a dog. And to me, you get so much more done in 100 real days of playing every single day. I have not played all day every day, but I have played some of every day. Some days longer, some days less, some days I don't start until really late at night, so I'm just trying to get things done, you know. So, this is my house. It's currently very untidy from lots of little projects. These are some boxes with like some stones and stuff, which will go into the big base build. More of that there. This is mostly just random stuff from like farms and stuff that I've built. Got a box with gold in it. Got a box with bombs in it. Like bombs. It's good for getting... Very good for getting netherite. That's my resources that I constantly use box that I just top up from. That is supposed to live into my ender chest, where I've got a few spare bits and bobs that are useful. Another random chest, and then these are what called my drop boxes, where I just drop stuff for organizing later, which I haven't been doing, as you can tell with all of the mess. But I've got my main storage in the back of the base, and then at the top we have the secret meeting room, which is still just a secret meeting room and has not yet been decorated. But I think I would like to, as sort of, I'm thinking about overarching goals and stuff and things I want to include in my world, and I do want to include some lore, some storytelling, if you will. So as we come out to my enchanting area, and then the horse that is still here from day one. He's been here, he's lived here. He still doesn't have a name because I forgot to name him the last time we spoke about this. And then some sugarcane farms and stuff that I haven't touched. This all needs updating and decorating and stuff. Got a nice little cow pen for my cows to live in. And it's all dirty and messy with all the dirt on the ground there. And the sheep here are just kind of in a pen. I don't really need these sheep anymore, so I might end up getting rid of them and maybe put like a nice little patio area here or something. And then we've got my mine shaft, which I'm very happy with this build. This is probably the build I'm most happiest with. I would like to add in maybe some ore blocks, which was a suggestion from a commenter. I don't have that comment up right now, but thank you whoever did bring that up. I would definitely add some ore blocks. Like I can even add some deep slate ore in around the place as well. And that will make things look nice and snazzy. And I also sort of did a bit of work on the actual shaft itself rather than just the entrance. Very happy with that. And then you got the villager area. This is a big work in progress, and I do not like this house, and I'm going to get rid of it. I need to... what I've done is I've given myself extra space around the current villager setup, and I think I need to give myself less extra space around all of that and try to incorporate the walls of what's already there into its own separate build rather than try to just put a big box around it. If we head on in, this is the build for the actual interior. which, whilst not particularly decorated, is pretty functional. And then I've literally got a gap between that and the actual build I've put around the exterior. So, bit silly. Need to rethink that. I'd like to do something nicer without this outside area as well. Maybe turn this tower into something, because that's going to be one heck of a job to tear down. So I might as well just decorate it a little bit and pretend that it's supposed to be there. So heading on up, we've got most of these builds are all farms. Really? So if you're new to my world, we'll start at this end and head on that way. And we'll finish up, I guess we'll go to the end and do some repairing. I've got a pickaxe I need to repair. And that's will pretty much be everywhere that I've done any significant building. So in here is the iron farm in this tower. This iron farm was the first farm, I think, that I built. And it's just been running constantly in the background, so I've got lots and lots of iron in there. And then to what is probably the most recent build, possibly. Oh, there might be one more that's slightly more recent. But we have the Halloween pumpkin, which is now kind of blocked by this big house, but we can get an idea. Big, spooky Halloween pumpkin. And he's going to stay. He's not going anywhere. But he's actually covering up. Come around here. There's a sneaky door in here. And we have a melon and pumpkin farm. Which, since adding this build around it, has finally stopped losing its minecart. So there was something going on that a mob or something was causing an issue, and just by blocking it off with all of this, it seems to have fixed that. And now there's a very big supply of melons and pumpkins. Whilst we're here, whilst we're stopped off, we'll craft some melons. Save some space, let the hoppers run through. And these I can, you know, if I want to keep them for trading, I can. Otherwise, I can take them to the composter and add them to the pile and make use of that in my tree farm. We will get to soon. We then have the, I guess there's two things to talk about here. We've got the nether portal, which has got a nice little design. I got this design off TikTok. I'm pretty sure I just searched for like Minecraft build, possibly Minecraft build tutorial, and then, or even like nether portal tutorial build, that kind of search terms, and that got me this. It's one of the most popular things on TikTok from Minecraft, so I thought, yeah, I'll add that to my world. It's simple, but it adds a bit of importance to the portal, I think. We're not going to go through. There's nothing particularly exciting in there. Maybe we will go through. Got some farms up on the nether roof that would be worth visiting. So we've got the paths and stuff as well I wanted to mention. I think I will be changing all of these out for this kind of stone path, but I need to figure something out. I might do like a stone path with the actual path blocks along the side, just to add a little bit of depth. Possibly that sometimes, and then like have slabs and stair blocks as well, just to add a little bit of depth around the sides of the path, because otherwise it becomes, the texturing looks good, but it's very flat. Whereas this, the texturing is less exciting, but it's got that extra little bit of dimensionality to it. It's just an extra pixel, I think it is. Like a Minecraft block pixel. But makes a big difference for the actual look, I feel. We may keep these lights, these sort of lanterns as they are. We may change them out. I think it'd be fun to do frog lights. That's sort of the most exciting lighting block at the moment. And then we get to the creeper farm. So this big square building with the red roof, this is the creeper farm. And I've actually done some sculptures on each side. So I'm a big fan of Pokemon. Anyone that knows me will probably know that I have played at least one game from every single generation. I think I've played all the remakes as well. Again, at least one game of all the remakes. I've not strayed too far outside of the mainline games. Else have I played? I've played Pokemon Snap. I played Pokemon Stadium when that first came out. That kind of the main ones that most people play. So I thought I'd add a little touch of Pokemon, but keep it subtle. So we've got the Pokemon Red from like the Pokeballs, and then we've got a Pikachu carving into the wall on the front. And this is just done by having the wall made out of blocks, and then these are actually wall blocks that are in the middle, and that creates this little sort of inset that I think looks quite good. They're different materials, so it kind of stands out a little bit as well. And we've got a Bulbasaur. I think we'll fly to see the next one. And you've got a Charmander, little bit off center, but not too much. It's, I think, because there is more weight on this side of the design. Like there's a lot more stuff here, even though it's one block to the left. It looks like it's much further to the left. If I shifted it back one, I don't think it would make that much of a difference. Squirtle. Now, Squirtle would definitely benefit from being moved to the left one, but I'm just going to leave it because if I keep revisiting and trying to perfect every single build, I'm never going to get more experience doing more builds. So moving on to the next couple of farms. We've got a bee farm here, which I haven't done much with. I thought I was going to need like honey and stuff more. I did not end up needing it very much. In fact, there's no honey in here at all. I think I took all the bottles out and didn't replace them, so my bad. Nighttime again. We've been talking for so long. We might do a quick sleep and then return to the honey farm. We've got the honey farm here. I did like doing a little bit of extra detail in the roof there. And I think this was the first one where I built a little house around it, and then I added a little, I call them eyebrows, to the top of the roof. And I don't know, I kind of like it. Makes them look a little bit more on purpose. I am not liking that though. Thought it was good at first, but no, that's really not good. I'm glad I'm getting rid of that. I guess the most interesting thing about the bee farm is I did 2 videos on it. And one of them did really, really well, and one of them did not do really, really well. And I couldn't tell you how the algorithms work, but it's just an interesting sort of, you never know, even though you're doing a video on the same subject, you never know what video is going to work out and what video is not. We got this is a very big farm actually on the inside. It's not going to be easy, I don't think, to even get inside. But there are actually 6 modules here. So there's 3 modules at the bottom. There's a second level with 3 more modules. And this is a sugarcane and bamboo farm. This is probably the most productive farm that I've got. So it's been constantly running. It's full. All of these hoppers are full. And I suspect if I click on this minecart, the minecart's full as well. So any items that are being made are just despawning, which is... Look, I've got so much of this stuff I don't know what to do with it. Although, with the new version of Minecraft coming out, there is going to be bamboo blocks, so maybe I'll hold on to that rather than getting rid of it. I tried to do something a little bit clever with the detailing on the outside, and I ended up making just a big face. And it kind of reminds me a little bit of Grumbot, and he's just a happy little guy. So we'll leave him there, and we'll just accept that I'm not that great at building. And move on. Then we have, I think this is actually the latest build, now that I think about it. This is the mushroom farm, which has got some zombies trapped into it somehow. Are they holding anything? No. I could just, they are holding mushrooms, okay. So I need to add some lighting, I guess. I have some torches. Light that up a bit. Not sure how they'd actually get in. It's very strange. Oh look, the mushrooms spread outside. That's fun. They must have spawned here and then I genuinely don't know how they got into the farm there. Very strange. Maybe they spawned on the hoppers? Is that possible? Maybe. Who knows? Mushroom farm. Lots and lots of mushrooms. Pretty slow. But it's been running for months now, so I've got plenty of mushrooms. I was going to make a mushroom-based slime farm. I thought there was going to be a swamp just nearer to me. There's really not a swamp that's very close. So I'm probably not going to make use of that. So we'll just let that keep running. It's not a big issue. A little bit of redstone going back and forth. And here we've got two things which are kind of important. And actually, I need to top this up. So this is a coloured sheep wool farm, which every time the sheep eats the grass block, the shears automatically fire like that. Shear the sheep, and the wool gets sucked down into the system. And we have a couple of ticks, and there's the wool going up into the item sorter. And then that blue wool will make its way down to one of these. I think it was like this colour. The light blue. So that's all perfectly sorted. I wanted to test out making these pipes and transporting items through pipes for part of my master plan, and to make sure that I could sort of have a working prototype, I guess. I decided to set up an item sorter next to my sheep farm and pipe all the wool from the sheep farm. And it's just a very basic item sorter. If you've ever built one, then you'll recognize all of that redstone. There's a 5-minute explanation of what it does, but essentially it just individually organizes the items that you've decided that you want to have organized. And then lastly on, oh no, not lastly, second to last on this piece of land is we've got the super smelter. So we've got the fuel here and the input here. So if I put this iron ingot in there, it's not going to cook or anything, but we can demonstrate. So down here and in here, and the iron ingot has ended up in that first one. There's nothing else in the rest of this, but we'll get some copper soon and fill that all up. I did have an incident with a creeper the other day, and that's why there's cobblestone in the wall. I've decided to leave it because it's kind of telling its story. There was once a big creeper explosion in the super smelter structure. We repaired the structure with, you know, the bits of stone that were available, and we actually fully repaired the inside and made sure that it was working. But the wall itself it's not a functional wall other than holding up the roof. So we just repaired it with what we had on hand. I think that's the kind of story I'm going for. There is a little bit more story to the super smelter. So I've got the dark tower here. The dark tower. The dark coloured tower with the red roof here, and then we've got the similar palette but with just lightened colours. The idea being that this was maybe an old barn or something, or some old building, and it, you know, has weathered. It's been around for a long time, and then someone else has repurposed it as the super smelter, and has also built this tower as like an extension, as an extra bit to make the super smelter work. And we've sourced the same materials as the original building, but because they haven't weathered yet, because the tower hasn't been standing for decades or anything like that yet, the colors are still bright and vivid and vibrant, and as if the stone was just cut yesterday and the chops were felled yesterday as well. I think that's a fun way to do a build and have a reason for why you would have seemingly random different blocks next to each other. And also so I was thinking about this when I was building it as well. I've got this bit up here where I'm thinking the suggestion is that, yes, there's a bigger wall on the back here, and there may have been a slightly different part of the structure here to start off with, but it was dilapidated, or the new owner just broke it down or something like that, and then repurposed this part of the wall, but the rest of it wasn't usable, so they've built the tower up around it like that. So that's my first real bit of storytelling in the actual in the world, which I think is a little bit of fun. And then we've got this big long monstrosity here, which is actually, come inside, you might be able to tell by what's in the doorway, it's a vine farm. Sun's going down, time for another sleep. So, what else have we got? Oh, we do have the lava farm, which was my little obsession for a while there, because it's so cool and fun to have a actual lava farm in the game. I know it's been in for a little while, but I've never actually made one before. So this is my first lava farm, and ooh, that's it's a dangerous one, that's for sure, but it's okay. I have not got a good idea of what I want the build around this to be. It's very square. It's just a pool of lava at the top. So I probably can't build it out of anything wooden. I could possibly do nether wood. That might be a fun sort of design challenge, to use warped and crimson wood for a build and make them work together. They're the only fireproof wood, with a bit of stone from the nether as well, I guess. Make a nether themed build. That'd be, I think that's a good idea. The sheep farm, I was thinking of just having like a barn. Not too sure what to do. My thought was to have a big encompassing build. I think it's just going to be too big. And I like the pipes sticking out of things. That's the aesthetic I'm going for. The pipes are sort of sticking in and out of things. Last couple of things on the overworld whilst we're here. First one is the tree farm. Hooray, tree farm. I ran it for about 10 minutes. I got about 2 rows of wood. I think I've taken it and put it somewhere. I don't know where. Cannot remember. But it's really good. The design is by ENX04. And there should be lots of bone meal in here. Very good. So, the bone meal itself is actually coming from this pipe. What's this pipe? Ah, over here. I managed to come around. We can check on this as well. I haven't checked on this in a while. Seems to have been running absolutely fine. There it goes. So we've got we've got, what is it, 6? Yeah. 6 stone generators constantly pushing stone blocks through. And every time they do, you can see they break the moss blocks and then take their place. And then when, I think it's this one, so when the block here changes, there's an observer under there that picks up that there's been a block change. We'll see it go again. Tick. And that causes a dispenser that's pointing, I think it's pointing at this block here, to fire some bone meal into the area, which causes the moss to spread, create carpets, create grass, create the little shrubs and things like that. Just after the bone meal is processed, there's a signal that lowers the trapdoors and sends all the goodness down into the collection system, where, as you can hear, it's all coming through into the composters, which would be collected in this chest, but I built a pipe with a dropper. Oh, there's some. So it goes up and along and then drops down into the hopper. And then lastly, in the overworld at least, we have the big base build. It's currently almost finished. When that circle is closed over, we will have a nice, big, beautiful dome on top of this stone structure with big pillars and stuff. And then inside it here, I can build anything I want. It's going to be my main base. So I'll have a storage room. I'll have maybe an enchanting room. I might have some villagers walking around. Anything I want. A fun, cool bedroom up in the top, maybe, up in the dome. A dome-based bedroom. Not sure. It's sort of a place where I will let my creativity run wild and just build stuff that I think is cool. I think that's the best way to go. So now we're going to go... We'll pop to the nether quickly, and then we'll go to the end, because there's just a couple more things to show for the world tour. So into the nether. There's not too much to show on the ground floor, mostly just tunnels and stuff. If we come up here, I've actually found a way up to the nether roof. So over here This is actually parts of two farms. We've got a gold farm here, which was very useful for converting my villagers into zombies and then back into villagers. I love it when it's working. And you get some lovely rewards from doing all that. So yeah, the gold farm, really good. Pretty simple, easy design to make. Very happy with that. And then this here is the AFK spot for the piglin bartering farm. I think that's really the only two farms that are currently in the nether, so we might head back. And then we'll quickly visit the piglin bartering farm. It should be safe. I did die there once, and it was very bad, and I lost all my gear, so take it easy and not take any risks, I don't think. Okay, so it was behind the portal. Come down here. When the height of the ceiling drops, we turn. There's a piglin. And then up here you can hear them. Jeez, they're noisy. Ow. Grab my sword just in case it's not safe. Sounds like it might not be safe. Oh no. There's a small one. These are very noisy. I think this is just the noise they make. I've normally got my mob sounds turned down so much that I can't hear this absolute racket. Okay, this is a shulker box loader and breaker, and then it loads them into there, and then you pick them up and run away, and now we're running away from there. Essentially, you just stand in that corner with the piglins, you throw them a stack of gold, and you quickly can load up some shulker boxes. I do need to remember to come back here or maybe I can... Ooh, that's a bad idea, run away! We can be sneaky. There he is. Bye. 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 Don't think there's anyone else around. Gold and carrots and stuff. Oh, a silk touch pick. The ancient debris. Nothing I particularly need. Oh, that's a pig. Run away. Anyway, so yeah, that's the majority of what I've done in the nether. We'll head back to the overworld. I do not have a shortcut to the end because I don't really need one. If I was being really conservative, I could probably get there, I reckon, in one rocket. Let's see. Oh, there's my beacon. Take a mental note of that. I lost that. That's where a copper vein is, or was. And then I went down and dug it all out. And then that stack of dirt over there is where my portal to the end is. Okay, maybe not one rocket, maybe two. We'll go up another one. Also, whilst we're here, ice farm. If I ever need lots of ice, this is where I come. Alternatively, which I found out just after I finished building the ice farm, I think in possibly this direction. Yeah, there you go. Look, there it is. There's a hill made of ice. This far away from my ice farm. Lesson learned. If we come down here, I've actually dug out a big hole. You go straight down to the end. Super nice and easy. All of this water is to just be safe from evil endermen. And then the last build is the enderman farm. And it's very good and useful for repairing my tools. I will do now. Oh, it's very loud. Ah. It's a very noisy farm. That's why I usually have my audio all the way down. I thought it would just be a little bit of silly fun to leave that volume up. Very loud noises. That's the world tour pretty much. As far as goals go, I would like to do all of the dragon fights. That's going to involve possibly a ghast farm, because farming ghasts out in the wild is tedious and frustrating. So I might see if there's a simple enough ghast farm Yeah, I don't ever actually need particularly efficient farms or anything like that. I just need farms that can produce stuff faster than if I was doing it manually. Yeah, so farms are really good for whilst I'm doing something else, my farms are working for me. And the more farms you have, the more stuff you're getting by being in the world. You can even just be AFK and stuff is happening. For instance, the super smelter, because it was smelting, I had to spend a lot of time just standing here waiting for stuff to smelt. And so that meant my bone meal farm had time to go, my sheep farm had time to go, all these other farms nearby have all filled up, so got lots of stuff. So yeah, for goals for the world, I definitely want to do all the dragon fights, so that will need a ghast farm. I want to have every farm have its own separate pipe, like this one over here for the bone meal going to the tree farm. I want every separate farm to have a pipe that goes over to the automatic sorting system that will be in my big base build, which I have almost finished building. It's so close. I want to make sure all of the farms do have at least a simple build around them that is not big and stupid like that, because that's not working. I want to have a build. I really like this build, actually. The way that there's like different boxes that are sort of sticking into each other, and yeah, it's basically just a few little boxes, but the way it sort of merges all together, I think it looks quite good. And that kind of theory for the structure with a bit more detail work, like I've done with the tower over here, with these steps. It's more of a, I mean, Minecraft being the kind of game that it is, it's the goal you set is the whatever you want it to be. So yeah, I want to keep building farms and things around this area, keep expanding. And that's it for my day 100 world tour. If you want to see the full story of how we got here, then hit up the playlist to watch all of my videos in order. For more of me, there's social links in the video description, and thanks for watching. Subscribe to keep up with my videos. Likes and comments tell the algorithm to show my videos to more people, so that's always a big help too.